for all things Halloween. This is hauntformer, and welcome back to another installment of Haunt Informer. Make sure to consume, and consume, 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 consume. Make sure to continue watching the video, everybody. Welcome to Haunt Informer yet again. My name is hauntformer, and in today's video we're going to talk about Halloween, horror, haunt industry, and other updates to tinkle your bones. So, without any more delay, I think I'm going to start. I don't know exactly where to classify this news because it's kind of random. There is a hip new trend, not fidget spinners, not Fortnite, to start carving pineapples for Halloween. If you didn't know, pumpkins were the staple of Halloween for years and years, but you may not know, before pumpkins, many other vegetables were carved into creepy faces, such as turnips. We've known pumpkins for so long now that it's practically an iconic symbol of the Halloween season, but this fall it seems like people are embracing their inner Hawaiian side and carving pineapples. And you know what? It's just weird enough where I kinda like it. Perhaps I'll even carve one myself. Who knows? If you remember last episode, I talked about a petition to change the date of Halloween as we know it. But they have changed what they want to do. They do not want to change the date of Halloween. Now, they instead want to start a new holiday called Trick or Treat Day, which is a time for children and families to have fun for the season without worrying about school and other necessities. They claim that it's going to help safety and other stuff. You can read the petition for yourself. This is a little bit of old news because this was announced before my last video, but I wanted to throw it in to tie it in with the previous Haunt Informer. I still want to hear from you. What do you think about the petition? I, again, can see where they're coming from, but I also understand people who want to keep the date, its classic 31st iconic landmark. Please do not hurt me, cringe lords. Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, has announced a new game that will be coming out in 2020. It looks like Five Nights at Freddy's is getting another upgrade. Now, Freddy Fazbear and the team are going to be going into what looks like a giant arcade mall of some sort, judging by the teaser. I know what you're thinking. Five Nights at Freddy's is so out of date, hauntformer. I agree, and the fandom hasn't really helped. There's a lot of cringe and a lot of weird stuff going on in the Five Nights at Freddy's community, but can I take a moment to appreciate how good the original game was? It was creepy, it was entertaining, it made Scott Cawthon a buttload of money and made him famous, so I have to give kudos to Five Nights at Freddy's. I am myself a fan of those games, though I'm not really a part of the fandom because it's gone so bizarre. But are you interested in seeing more from this series? I want to hear from you. Let me know. Speaking of games, there was a Ghostbusters video game that came out probably like 10 years ago or so. I remember playing it when I was a kid. Great game, by the way. Well, if you didn't play it, or maybe want to relive your childhood, I have a special announcement for you, because this fall, the game is being remastered for many new updated systems, such as the Xbox One, and I think the PlayStation and a few others. It's pretty cool. They're going to add new graphics, bring it into the, 2019 tech world. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to see this game back on shelves. I just might get it because I've played the original game. It's a lot of fun, but to see the updated graphics and the work put into it is going to be really special, especially with Harold Ramis's sad passing. This is one of the last things we have of all four original cast members of the Ghostbusters together. Time to talk about food announcements. I have a couple for you guys, but this first one really tickles my fancy. Skittles is coming out with Zombie Skittles. What exactly are Zombie Skittles, though? I'm about to tell you. You didn't let me finish. Zombie Skittles are essentially like regular Skittles, except throughout the batch, there will be gross out zombie flavors hidden within the classic Skittle taste. I think that's an awesome idea. If you remember, Jelly Beans have done the Bean Boozled thing for a while, and that's pretty fun if you haven't played it before. Basically, it's got some nasty flavors and some good ones. Well, now Skittles is jumping on the bandwagon. I couldn't be more excited because I love eating nasty stuff, and perhaps I just might eat some on the channel for you guys this October. We'll see, depending on if I want to barf or not. If you haven't seen it, shameless plug, I did a video at Cracker Barrel debuting their newest Halloween lineup for 2019, and I commented about a Ghostbusters t-shirt that was in the store. Well, wouldn't you know it, there's more Ghostbusters stuff coming to Cracker Barrel, and maybe you've already seen it. Ghostbusters candy and treats, including, you guessed it, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. This is pretty cool. I'm glad Ghostbusters is getting back into the public eye again, especially with its anniversary and the upcoming 2020 film. This is really cool. If you pick up some of these treats, let me know. Are they any good? Also, speaking of themed foods, it was announced that Funko is going to be doing a line of Disney villain cereals. Sounds pretty tasty. And some of them are going to be coming to Spirit Halloween, everyone's favorite Halloween superstore. They haven't debuted all of the villains that are going to be a part of these cereals. So far, they have debuted Ursula, I think, and Oogie Boogie, which looks really good. The cereals come with a mini Funko Pop keychain figure, which is really nice, and they still have, I think, like 4 more villains that they're going to debut. So, who would you want to see in the lineup? Oogie Boogie was awesome. Maybe like a Captain Hook would be really cool? I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. We're going to Disney World! Well, I'm probably not, even though I live in Florida, but if you like Disney, Disney World, Disneyland, whatever Disney floats your boat, you've probably heard of the Haunted Mansion if you're a Halloween buff like myself. Disney has announced that they're going to be making plushies, these little tiny plush guys of Haunted Mansion characters. There's a lot of merch coming out for the Haunted Mansion and Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff like that at the Disney parks for their big Halloween extravaganza, the like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. But to see Haunted Mansion merchandise being made more frequently is exciting, especially for a fan like myself. Are you going to pick up any of this stuff? If so, which are your favorites? Sometimes I talk about movies and TV, and sometimes I talk about gaming. This is kind of both, I guess? Netflix has said that they're going to be premiering a show based off of the classic horror video game Resident Evil. Season 1 should be coming out this fall, and it's pretty exciting to think about what opportunities the show could have. I personally haven't played the games, but I would be interested to know, for people who have, what would you want to see in the show? Are there certain plot lines or characters that you want to see make a comeback in the show? Or is it going to be set in the universe with a completely distinct storyline? What do you think? A lot of people have requested me to talk about the Banana Splits movie, which is a direct-to-DVD or home video film that kind of is based off of Five Nights at Freddy's and that craze right now, but also based off of the Hanna-Barbera classic Banana Split show, which is kind of taken to horrific extremes when the characters from that show come to life as evil robots and start murdering people. Well, if you want to rent the film or buy it digitally, you already can, but later this month it's going to be coming out on DVD, and that's likely where I'm going to get it. Maybe you'll even see a review of that film at some point on my channel. I wanted to address it here because it is approaching that DVD release date, and I want to know if you've seen it, is it any good, and if you haven't but want to see it, why? It's a very interesting looking film. It looks a little cheesy and bizarre, but you know what? Bizarre is my middle name. Actually, it's not. Halloween Horror Nights is Universal Studios' lineup of mazes, scare zones, and a lot of spooky stuff for the annual season that is approaching rapidly. They have announced some new stuff, a lot of stuff, and some of those things that I'm about to mention include a Zombieland scare zone and a Rob Zombie scare zone, which is pretty sweet. Speaking of Rob Zombie, they're also going to be coming out with a House of 1,000 Corpses official maze, which is pretty exciting, and perhaps even more so, my favorite film of the year is also getting a maze. Yeah, Jordan Peele's Us, which I thought was a really underrated film. A lot of people weren't big fans of it. I really did, but I don't know how they're going to adapt that to a maze, because a lot of it is psychological in nature, and a lot of it's the same characters repeated and repeated, but I'm interested to see, nonetheless, how they adapt these films and storylines to the parks. Should be exciting. And for all you classic horror fans, you guys that seem to love John Carpenter's Halloween, as do I, there is a really exciting announcement that the original 1978 film is coming back to hit the big screen. You heard that right, folks. It has been recently announced, I should say, that John Carpenter's Halloween's coming back to the big screen in a big way. It's going to be playing at a lot of theaters, so make sure to check your local theater to see if it's playing this October. But I think it's really cool that they're paying homage to one of the greatest horror films of all time by releasing it in theaters for Halloween. It's like the perfect time to watch the movie. Speaking of Halloween, and Rob Zombie, and Us, and all those other things, make sure to check out Lord Grimley's Manor. They have merchandise from Trick or Treat Studios, who sells all that stuff, Ghoulish Productions with some really iconic, interesting masks, and many, many more companies. They have really affordable pricing, and if you use my promo code, that's correct, I have a promo code, you can get 10% off of your purchase. Don't miss out, you guys. Make sure to get your Halloween goodies now before they run out of stock. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. What's your favorite announcement from this lineup of incredible news? I'm so excited for so many things, and I really want to try those zombie Skittles, no lie. Thank you for watching, and remember, as always, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.